Good evening. This is Dylan Grant. I feel like this is really strange because it was like that was on the other side. I think it's like backwards. Okay. But hopefully I'm coming to you from the other side of the mirror, the other side of the screen. This technology is a screen. I don't know what I should call this video. In fact, I went on for about 30 minutes thinking that the camera was on when it wasn't. Because, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going to call it, Enter the Psion, because that's what, when I drafted my, perfect comic book reality, what I was going to go by, because I realized that pretty early on, that I could do different things with my mind than most people. I can feel what other people are feeling and see things that they don't see. And my grandma could do the same thing. It's like it runs in families, and they're becoming more active, and as time goes on. So I just finished watching the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, and it got me hyped up about that. There's a beautiful, better world out there, and some people say it's a fake world, and maybe it isn't exactly going to be like we think it is, but it's like I think that there are other worlds out there that, because I have tuned into them or dreamed of them, where I have like special powers active. I mean, I've done things in this reality, but we're going to get into that later. But no, there are things outside of this low 3D that people live in and accept. There's like an entire different. There's a whole world around us, what they call the KHAA, which means the other 96% of the universe. It's not the parts that basically the four elements of earth, water, air, and fire, or science: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. There's an entire universe that is not just that 4% of the universe, those four elements. This is the 4% universe, which I learned from Wes Penry. Amazing person, you should research him. His work. So the thing that I kind of went by is that, and why I'm deciding to do this is because it's 2018, time to get it going, get your life path going, and I'm hoping that, for a long time I wanted to start doing these videos and share some information with, my brothers and sisters in creation. And I do love everyone. I don't care about any of that other stuff, because there really is no one like me in the world. I'm sorry, there isn't. I don't have people. I vibe with everybody as long as they're cool and they don't treat me like shit. Unlike my family, but they try. Sometimes my aunt tries, but no, they don't quite. They don't understand me. So yesterday, when it was the new moon, and I had just turned 34 on the 9th. So this card reading, and I think it was like the Matrix, because I went on a new moon, which is supposed to be a powerful day, and she told me some stuff, and it wasn't, I don't think that she told me that I need to take it literally. I think that it was like in the Matrix, where she tells him something and it makes him go and do something else. I think it was like that, because she's telling me that the spirits, and they probably did say this, because they are, when you're doing tarot, it is an open channel. I can understand this with my own special gifts. It's a channel. You open yourself up, and you were in the, I was watching, like, she's like, okay, boom, one card would fly out. I'm like, okay. She did not do it. It happened. And the card reading was obviously supposed to get me to do something, and hope maybe this is part of it. So what the card reading was basically saying, and this is why I've decided that my higher selves fucking suck, and I don't need to obey or listen to them, and I urge none of you to either, which I put on Facebook earlier, is that, because it's like these higher selves like, oh no, you're not going to get active powers in this reality. I'm like, I've already done fucking shit. And besides, I just watch fucking cards fly. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Did I do that? No, but I've seen some shit that you're like, nah, that'd be too hard to fake. Weird shit. But the thing is, you're like, oh no, you're not going to get any of that. No, you're going to meet the love of your life, and you'll have to decide what you want to do. Fuck you, Matrix. I don't have no time for this shit. I'm like, like, I tried, going to school. I'm a veteran. I can have my education paid for free. But it's the little things that that you can't, especially with PTSD, that you really can't handle I really can't handle complete incompetence anymore. Like, I went to get my transcripts, and this crazy girl who did not fucking speak English at all. I don't know what she speaks. Some kind of, and I love Middle Eastern people, but she spoke some kind of Middle Eastern dialect. I can tell the accent, and she did not speak English. Now, I couldn't get a job on campus when I was going there, but somebody that does not speak the language, I mean, she can say a few things. Can. It's kind of interesting. But I have no issue with foreign people as long as they're competent. This bitch was not competent. So she's like, but you're an out-of-state student. You have to pay these $1,800. I'm like, $1,800? Hell no. I'm like, okay, can you look at this? She goes, I said, that's the second semester? She goes, yes. I said, can you look at the semester before that, first semester? Uh-huh. I'm like, okay. Was I an out-of-state student then? No, you were not an out-of-state student. They said, okay, and the other semester you see it started 2 weeks after that semester ended? Uh-huh. I'm like, okay, you have to live out of state a year and a day to be an out-of-state student. So obviously, there's a little error in there. No, you have to pay. You pay. I'm like, bitch, whatever. I don't have time for this. So, and I talked to the, the person who's like, well, but you can surely pay that. I'm going, why the fuck should I? You're holding my shit ransom? Really? Really? And it's like you get frustrated with how incompetent things are that you don't even try. At least I've gotten past the point where I'm going to continue playing the game their way. Because I realize that a lot of the time it's like you fight and fight and fight. They're fucking winning because you're frustrated. When you fucking get what you want, it's not fucking worth it. When you had to go through all of that unnecessary stuff. All that unnecessary stuff. This is obviously a computer error. But they're going to make me jump through like 20 hoops because of an obvious computer error. Obvious. They have a record of my California driver's license. Really? That's what I'm saying. It's like this complete incompetence is why this matrix is fucked, and why when these spirits are like, oh, you have to decide what you want to do. Bitch, I tried all that. No, I don't have any faith in this world anymore. Because of the fact that I've had shit like that happen all the time. I'm going, huh? It was obviously to prompt me to the point that I would realize how fucked this world is, and the fact that what they said in the movie Lucy, one of my favorites, is that you get to a certain level of awakeningness and awareness. I don't think that's a word. Awakeness and awareness that awakeningness is not a word. That you go, wait a minute. This world is fucked. It's nothing but obstacles and bullshit. And which they said in that movie, it is completely true. This world is literally nothing but obstacles. What makes us us? It's nothing but obstacles. That's fucking true. It is bullshit obstacles. It's like. It's bad enough with the weather and the global warming and all that stuff, and the blizzards and the earthquakes and all the other stuff we have here, and like bugs and, I don't know, diseases and whatever else. But then we have to have this shit too? And I'm supposed to be like, oh, I know the system's not perfect. No, the system is fucking incompetent. And there have been many people that have tried to fix this broken shit. Tesla, many people and ideas, and their input was simply stifled. So they want it to be fucked. They want it to be fucked. These people want it to be fucked. And that's why we are destined for very different... There we go. It's really backwards. Okay. That's why we're destined for very different paths in existence. But anyway, so this card, we're just like, well, no, that's never going to happen. Basically, it was like implying that I'm just supposed to settle into the matrix and accept what whoever they are, have decided. And I'm like, I don't listen to my parents. I stopped listening to my parents in middle school when I saw that my mom was full of shit and like had her own little stuff. That upsets you, I don't care. My mom is a crazy bitch. She fucking is. She's a crazy bitch that basically told me that I was going to go to hell, that I'm going to get AIDS, that, because I'm gay, and that, no one will ever love me, and that, we're not even going to go into all that, though. But, and I can tell you that this higher selves, at this point, I realize that they're full of shit, and, like, are we connected to them? Absolutely. But do we have to obey them? No. Come on, we all know, all of you disobeyed your parents and snuck out of the house and did some shit that you shouldn't. Well, you know what? It's like that, only at different scale. Because honestly, the whole universe is microcosmed. My, family had a plan. They wanted me to... My mom, still, I'm 34 years old. She's like, you can move into my house and help me do all this. And I'm like, Mom, why would I want to fucking move in your house? Why would I want to live in your house? I'm 34 years old. Why would I want to move into your house? I have this. Why would I want to move into your house? Yeah, I'm like, she literally thinks that I'm gonna, because she never wanted me to grow up. She literally even tried to get me declared incompetent when I was 19, which with my school counselor and the counselor that she was making me see were like, oh, we're not going to side with her. We agree that you should be free of this crazy bitch. Because she tried to get me declared incompetent so she could collect money off of me. Yeah. Slavery is very much alive in 2018. It's 2018. So this, the higher, it's like, I know enough about bullshit slavery that's disguised as niceness. And I've had these higher self people and other people like, well, other people have had it way worse than you. I'm sure they fucking have. But did it affect, am I them? No. Can I feel the general discordance around me with, my first eye, third, I don't know which eye that is. I mean, it's my primary one for sure. Absolutely. I can feel all of this, the angst and bullshit and see the demons. I'm like, oh my god, this is a nightmare world. I mean, I've literally seen, like, it looks like a person suddenly becomes see-through, and, like, there's this thing in here, like, I'm like, fuck. Trust me, PTSD combined with, psychic things that are still budding and that kind of makes them come to the forefront makes you really hyper-aware of what's around you, and it's not always fun. But, well, whatever, it's true. It makes it impossible to work, too. I used to work. I had fun working. I worked 12-hour days when I could, but I can't anymore because I see too much, and I get overloaded with everything, and I can't be around people. I start feeling their feelings and their thoughts, and it's a completely different world that other people live in, and everyone thinks it's going to be fun. No, it's not. It's not fun. It's not cool. It sucks because it sucks if you have a soul. It sucks if you have a soul and you can, you care about things and you think that it's going to be, it's not what it's carved up to be. So, and it's mostly that until I kind of started spiritually clearing out, things. I really used to think that all the horrible things that I felt coming from other. This is also when this is the second actually time I've had my own place in a long. Because I had an apartment for like a couple months in Iowa, and then otherwise I've, because of financial reasons, had to always live with other people. Roommates, boyfriends, whatever. And it's like, I really didn't understand that until kind of recently. I'm like, oh, when I get by myself, I feel this kind of, when I get out of there, like, they're not doing anything. They're not, because I'm feeling what they're feeling. And a lot of people have not cleared the inner stuff from themselves. And, it's bad that they are in that place. So, and I have to feel those things. So, I have to feel that. I have to feel people's bodies screaming because they're not getting enough to eat. Now, they're eating every day, but they're not eating anything nutritious. So it's like I can feel the fucking pain that, like, that their bodies are, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel the death, really. It's death. It feels like death. And that's why, like, as a Psion person, I'm glad that I've gotten my mind and heart to kind of function, singularly. I don't think I did tell you the route, that might have been on the video that was never recorded, because I thought, oh, I hit the wrong button. But, it's a Greek word, and it means mind spirit. Well, PSI, PSI, like psionics, which in the Marvel Comics universe is like telepathy and empathy and seeing the future and telekinesis and all that stuff. They're all psionic abilities. Talking to machines is a psionic ability. But so the Greek root is PSI, which means mind spirit. And I think, because they didn't used to, I guess, tell the difference, and I think that's kind of what I've strived to do for the last 11 years, is to kind of unify my mind and spirit, because realistically before it was like my heart and my head were going in different directions. There was the self in my mind that my family had programmed me to be, get a degree and just do the career thing and just acquire lots of stuff, go on cool trips and stuff. And that I mean, I thought I wanted those things, and I'm not gonna lie, I do like pretty things, you know. But that's not all that I'm about. It's not what they're all they're about too. But it's like they made it seem like that's all that really mattered. And then, you know, but it's not. And my heart kind of wants other things. So the thing is that they're. So it's like for a long time it was like it was like the parts of myself were fighting what I wanted deep inside, which one of the things is not to be surrounded by fake bullshit people. Even before I knew that I could feel outside of myself and feel into them, it's like people would like be fake to me, or like they act like nice, but I'd be like, this bitch hates me. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Or what? Or I'd like turn a corner right when someone was talking shit about me, like, what? What did you say? We didn't say anything. Yeah, I just heard you, bitch. No, I didn't. You're crazy. I don't know if they actually. Well, I know that they did say some of it. I don't know how much of it I heard through my ears versus through the other part, but it's like, you know. And then you trap them. Like, you say something that, and they go, so you know that they actually said it, or they thought it or something, because you just know. That's another reason that people, that I would think I was really crazy, is because it's like, I would just know things. I'd understand things. I look at something and I know how it works. Trees talk to me. Rocks talk to me. Crystals. You know. They are alive. They are conscious. They just, you know, are aware at a very different level than we are. So the thing is that, and really all of nature, this is the other thing I knew from the time I was a child, was that all of nature is alive. It's part of a living system, a living body. Technically, we're subatomic particles, and the sun is like an atom and stuff. So we're like the immeasurable tiny parts that you can't even see. So we're going around, you know, and this whole galaxy is like a cell. In fact, it even looks like it. I taught a class. I started teaching a spiritual class. I made no money on it, and I don't care, because it was about getting a message out there. I could have made a bunch of money and done a bunch of stuff, but my class held its own. I mean, it broke even, but it's like, but the thing is that people showed up to a brand new class, and it's, you know what I mean, was with not a whole lot of, you know, build up, was actually, the store that I taught at was really shocked. It wasn't like a short class either. It was like a 10-week class, series. And I just basically had to find all the information out there that explained what was coming into my head. I had to find other researchers to justify that I wasn't fucking crazy. Other research, other pictures, other things, because I could see it. Not with these, but with this, the real eye. You know, I could see it, and I had to figure out how to share that with them, because I'd like oh, push it in, can they see? Come on, they can't fucking see, okay. Work it, hey, if that's the plan, you know, I'm gonna get that done. But until then, I had to come up with visual aids and pictures and diagrams, and I explained something like, oh, it was kind of a fun class, actually. I'm going to be relaunching it soon too. But, you know, do I want money? Do I want nice things? Fuck yeah. I mean, I'm wearing, like, you know, Lucky Brand shirt and some buckle jeans. So I like nice shit. But I'm not willing to deal with bullshit fakery. I'm not willing to deal with people that pretend to be your friend that are not. Some people that I was very close to in the corporate world kind of figured out how fake some of these people are when they got backstabbed and bullshit like that happening. When they mentor people and have that person backstab them and try to take their job and shit, I'm like, oh my god. And I could very easily with this do all of that and more. I could. But then I would be no better. And then I wouldn't be like the person that I am in here, where I really am, instead of the person. I mean, you see, and don't get me wrong, this is lovely, but it's not who I am. It's not what I am. It's the car I'm driving. Obviously, you know, it's a Ferrari, but where some people, you know, it's like you got a broken down van going on. But the thing is that's really off track. The thing is that it's this isn't who we are. This isn't all we are, and I really hope this makes sense because I'm really just going. I don't have a script or I don't have anything. I'm just kind of going. But that we have to kind of, align our minds and our hearts. I mean, the mind is not where we're supposed to live. The brain, the mind is the mind is the energy, right? The brain is the physical housing. It's not where we're supposed to live and dwell. And we don't live up here. We live in our heart, which is what the Egyptians taught. That we live in our heart, in the original 8-cell cluster from your first cellular divisions is after the sperm and the egg combined. Those are in your heart. Those 8-cell clusters is still in your heart. And that's where we really live. That's like Beverly Hills, and this is just the downtown that we go to work at, where we plan things and do stuff that way, but it's not where we live. We're not married to our work, to our job in the matrix, or to logic. Surprisingly, I'm actually a very logical person. I'm very science-y. I grew up in a healthcare family. My mom has 2 masters in nursing. She's crazy as shit, but she has 2 masters in nursing. And so I learned how to be very logical very early. And I don't know. But look, applying that logic and that intuition and that whatever the fuck this shit is, this thing, yeah, whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out, how people are still asleep in this stuff. I mean, this stuff is great, and it's like, I find designer shit at thrift stores, and I pay $2 for it. I know what to buy, but I watch people like enslave themselves and like destroy themselves. They live on fucking fake food, and I did it too. I'm not like, oh, I'm this pious. Fuck no, I'm not no pious saint. I've done all the shit. When I was active duty Army, trust me, myself and my battle buddies went out drinking every chance we got off base. I didn't eat a lot of fast food then because I was saving my money for other stuff, but yeah, no, we did all the time, and done a lot of drugs, trying to make it all work. Took a lot of meds. Ate a lot of bad food when I felt like shit. I would go, get McNuggets and stuff like that. And it never really made me feel good. It never really does. It just, you think you feel better for a while, but you don't. It's like and I noticed I was always hungry before. I've switched to veganism since about a little over a year. I don't think with only like once. No meat in like a year with only one slip up, but I think the full vegan I didn't do till went vegetarian in November of 2016, and then I went full vegan in like March. But I did that for health reasons, because well, for spiritual reasons, but also the reason I went full vegan is actually for health reasons, because one of the things that I noticed is after I cut out the meat, I didn't feel as crazy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel as crazy, and but then once I got rid of the dairy, it's like, woo, my mood got shot right up. I still can't be around a lot of other people that are going to bring their crazy to me because I start feeling it, but I can, at least I kind of don't feel what the animals felt. I think that's a side effect, is that you feel what the animals feel, because physically it makes sense because it would be in the tissue. All the stress hormones, it would be in the tissue. It's like, the things that this vision will show you it's not all fun. Like, I've watched human sacrifices happen. I watch how they terrorize people so that the flesh is full of adrenaline and eat human tissue. These are human beings. I mean, they might have some weird demonic thing going on, but trust me, there's a lot of things that you find out that are going on behind the scenes in this world, and you're going, like, and I'm like, am I hallucinating? Is it a nightmare? Because, I know I can shift my vision to my body back in my house, or wherever. I was in a homeless shelter for a couple of years. Shift my awareness back there and know that's where my body is. So is this in my head? Is it? You know what? There's some weird shit going on, and unfortunately, I think a lot of it is actually happening behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that go down in the place where this came online again, which was Los Angeles. A lot of things that go on there. Very scary things. Really, really terrifying things, and they happen right in front of people and they don't even know. But I say that a lot. From Umbridge, like Alice in Wonderland, which is I'm gonna do a video on that later because it actually is completely subtle disclosure. about the book of Revelations and about the prophecy and what it really means. But one thing I guess I've noted that, like I said, I wanted to kind of discuss is, do we need to get our minds and hearts, spirit together? Because this is the time when we are in a war. It's like in the book of Revelation, they said, you'll hear wars and rumors of wars, but do not, I can't remember exactly what they said, but what I remember after reading that, and I read the book of Revelations 6, 8 times, is that, we can't give in to all this fear. But we also, that does not mean be living like blind faith, like, oh, the Lord will protect me. Look, you know what I'm saying? That's just some weird shit. That people, they're like, oh, if we stay scared little sheep, then we'll be protected. No, you'll be eaten. You'll be eaten. You'll be herded up into pens and, eaten and fed on slowly. That is what will happen to you. Point blank, that's what's going to happen to you. If you live in that fear mentality, if you live in as a beast, a fearful beast, which is not the same as an animal, a beast in the matrix system, dependent on it, you will literally live in a pen, in a cage, and be fed on until you die. And then you'll reincarnate and do it again if you haven't figured out that it's fucking bullshit. It sucks. So, but the point is that, this is not the only world or the only reality or the only timeline. I have memories of alternate timelines, like 4 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. There was a war in the 1980s. There was a lot of other stuff happened. Mandela dying in prison and the riots in Johannesburg. People are like, oh, that Mandela effect. No, bitch, it's an alternate timeline. 2 timelines merged together, and I can actually remember both of them. And I'm like, which made me really fucking think I was going crazy, because I was like, I remember this, but I remember this at the same time. I remember visiting one of my friends in the 2000s, but I also remember that same friend dying in the 1990s. What the fuck? Because they're 2 separate lives, 2 separate reality paths that were merged together. The self that those of us who were experiencing Mandela effects that were in both realities became one. Like the 2 become one? Yeah. 2 became one. The 2 realities merged together, and as such, they will also eventually split off again, very far. But we need to make choices about which reality we want to entertain. Do we want to live in the reality of fear and being little sheeple in digital pens and stuff, or do we want to live in awareness and awakeness and responsibility? Because that's the choice that we have to make. A lot of people are getting upset about that shooting in Florida, which was just 2 days ago. I didn't even been yesterday. But my attitude isn't like, wait a minute. Was this person, were they playing violent video games? How did they get an AR-15 rifle? There's just there's a lot of things that you have to question. Wait a minute. Why are people even going off and shooting people? Isn't that a sign that our society is really fucked? If people are going out and shooting people, listen, not all people can handle, and this is going to sound bad, but not all people can handle violence and action movies and video games. I don't play video games because I think they're stupid, but a lot of people, they play these super violent video games, and then some stuff happens in their life, and they're like, I'm going to go shoot up. What the fuck? No, you're not going to go shoot shit up. That's not, no. How would you think that would be okay? This is not Call of Duty or whatever. I was active duty Army. They literally trained me to shoot things and kill things, and I don't think about going and shooting and killing people because I have a bad day. I have PTSD and I'm crazy as fuck. And seriously, no, this is not about, we need this. No, people need to start holding themselves accountable and examining when the fuck they're thinking crazy thoughts. But why are we also programming a bunch of stupid, undeveloped, malleable minds with violent video games, violent movies? Why exactly are we doing that? Because not all people are grounded enough to handle that. Not all people can be around that, be exposed to that and not participate. I can. I have no desire to be in part of that world. I have no desire to shoot up a bunch of people. I have no desire to go to wherever the fuck prison they're going. You know, I don't even know, or whatever. Because honestly, have I thought, oh, I wish this bitch was gone? Yeah, but I would not. No. You know that, and there is a difference. I think it's you hold yourself accountable. The thing is that the sheep, Paul, will cry out, oh, "We need protection." Live in your cage, bitch. Live in your fucking cage, and know that you could have not gone through that at all had you just started holding yourself accountable. I think, and I think that that's where a lot of this with the whole higher selves thing is that. Look, it's compromise. It's like anything else. I can't fully see them, but I might talk to like lions and dragons and these bird things and like these mantis things and like a bunch of stuff. Mantis ones are kind of cool. They're just so beautiful. Lions are beautiful too, and the dragons, but they're like velociraptor kind of dragons. And like, but they're people, dragon people, lion people, mantis. They're like people. They're not like animals. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the difference between like a human being and like a monkey. Like one looks like an animal, and one looks like a person. I mean, you can see some similarities, but you can also see that that they're like there's a difference. So the planet these higher selves supposedly have. Listen, I don't know what their intentions are. I know that they're a part of our soul body, that we're we're a piece of them that's vibrating at this certain state and interacting with each other on a physical plane to benefit the whole body. Kind of like it's like they're we've been stuck down here, but like we're part of this whole body. We're only aware of ourselves in this little spot, but we're like the whole. We're part of the whole body. Well, the thing, and then this is supposed to accomplish something somehow. But the thing is that which maybe we are accomplishing something. I sure hope so, because I certainly did not come here for the bad company. But we have to accomplish things, but some of them I think they have their own little agendas, because it's like, no, you're not going to have any active powers in this reality. I'm like, I've done some shit when I'm pissed, things fly across the room. Well, you're not going to have any of that. It's just, but you're going to find real love. I'm like, listen, that ain't going to happen. Well, yeah, it might happen, but I mean, I'm not like holding my breath to have a matrix identity, because this world doesn't respect me. It never has. This world uses me, and it has. I mean, in the homeless shelter, there was a lot of fucking fraud. There was a lot of fucking them treating people like shit, and they're sitting on millions of dollars to house and clothe these people with dignity. They don't fucking treat us with dignity. They treat us like fucking dogs that they're getting paid to babysit. They're keeping us in fucking cages and shit. That really is what it's like. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do this. I'm going, what the fuck? And the whole time I couldn't help thinking, wow, with that much money, you could do this. You could hire these people to do that. You could, you know what I'm saying? Like, fire the cleaning staff because they ain't doing shit. There's like dirt everywhere. But you know what? That's because I do come from a higher reality, and several alternate Dylans have folded into this one to complete the mission. So I remember higher realities, and I remember for our worst ones, for our worst histories, there were alternate timeline histories. We can do that, though. We can tune into other ones, and we can be kind of aware of it, because it's part of what our soul is experiencing in multiple lives, the different choices. But no, now's the time we have to decide if we are about, light and awareness and joy and rising above the simple fear-based survival mode, the beast mode, the survival mode that we've been kept at. That's what everyone's like, oh, beast mode. No, beast mode means you're a fucking animal. You're a fucking caged animal. That's what beast mode means. You're surviving. Fuck surviving. No, I don't want to survive. I want to fucking live. I want to create. I want to, I want everything to be. I don't want to survive like a beast. A burden for what? I would rather be dead than live in this shit. And you know what? A lot of people because some of the different fears that I have is like, if I tell people what I can see and what I can do, that they'll send, people are like, oh, they'll send people to get you. They'll send people to lock you up. They'll send people to kill you. Bitch, please kill me. Please fucking kill me. Please fucking kill me, because I'm not going to play a Matrix role. I'm not going to act like I'm all up. Fuck that. No, I'm not afraid of shit. I'm not afraid of dying. And the most terrifying thought is to actually be alive in this shit where you're like spiritually dead. You know everything's fake. You know everything's bullshit. You know what's really going on because you can fucking see it. And you sit there and go, no, that's not really happening. That's really death. That's true death. That is soul death. This is actually a hell. This frequency of reality is actually hell. Because a hell, not the only one. But because it's like we're in a Garden of Eden goddess planet, okay? We are divine beings. But we've been kept in this beast mode of fear, be afraid of this, be afraid of... Fuck being afraid. Be afraid of the Lord. No. I talk to the light all the time. I don't know about them lords. I mean, I'm not saying that you should go and openly spit in their face, but at the same time, you really shouldn't, you know, bow down in false things, because realistically, we're all equally temples of the light. Some have more or less light within them, based on where they are in their soul development, but we're all equally pieces of the light. We're all equally temples to the light, to the multiverse, to the living multiversal source consciousness. We're just like, we're equally parts, and we're equally loved. And when you start feeling, like really feeling, and you're like not here, you're kind of, you know, and you're like really feeling it, and you're like that kind of love, like it doesn't scare you at all. It's just like, it feels like home. But then when you're kind of back here, yeah, you're like, fuck! Because it's like, this is such a twisted difference. It's a very different reality, but, So it's 36 minutes. I'm going to go maybe to 38, and then I'm going to stop. I'll see if I like it, and if I do, I'll post it, and if I don't, well, if I did post it, you're watching it now. But if not, I'm going to record something else, and maybe I'll record something else too, just, you know, for perspective. I hope that what I said made some sense, and I hope that all of you out there are feeling beautiful, and just recognize that, you know, you are all divine. We are all divine. Some people be acting very lower, but we are all divine inside, in our soul. Some people choose to accept the matrix of lies, and they think that's what defines them, but it doesn't.